Welcome back. For today's practice, we'll focus on a pose called butterfly or Baddha Konasana. This is a great way to stretch out the lower back, especially if you tend to have a more tension or tightness in the hamstrings and the hamstrings are not as flexible. This would be a great practice for you to just release some of the lower back tension. And we tend to hold a lot of tension in the lower back just from sitting for a long period of time. So feel free to use, for this practice you may or may not need these props again. And as I've said before, it's always good to have the props right next to you, even if you don't feel like you need it. Just so in case you will find that you do need it, it's right next to you, so you don't have to get out of your pose and grab the blocks. So make sure that you have the blocks right next to you. For this practice, you may be able to use a block. If you don't have a block, a nice heavy book is always a good option. Or a blanket and a pillow might be a great option for you. So get all those three props and you can put this on pause and then join me as you get them. Once you get your blocks, what I invite you to do is put the soles of your feet together. And generally for this pose, especially when you're doing an active practice, the heels are closer to the groin area. But for this pose, I'd like you to see if you can extend your heels away from your groin so that it's kind of a diamond shape here as opposed to a tight bound angle pose. And then you may need the block or the bolster, as I said before. If you like to, you can take the bolster and put it right in front of you. And then you can also use a block to raise the bolster. So I'm going to show you from the sideways so you can see what it looks like. The block is going to go in front of your feet, in front of your toes, and the bolster is going to go right on top of it. And then you can put the blanket right on top of that. So you can make it as low or as high as you want. And this way, as we get into the pose, which is going to look like ultimately this way, bringing your forehead down, you can easily fold over without too much tension. So some of you may not need this, which is perfectly fine. You can just do without the blanket and just do it with the block and the bolster, just like so. Some of you may not want the block at all. You can take that away and just come down, just like this. And either way, wherever you are, initially make it a little bit higher so that you can always go back and lower the structure as you need it. I always like to start with the block on the bolster on top of the block and even the blanket. And then from here, from this height, you can always just reduce the height of your structure. And then as you're ready, just find your sitting bones. Make sure that the sitting bones are nicely grounded. And take a deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Just kind of find your seat first before you fold forward. And as you're ready, gently begin to fold forward, bringing your forehead down to your structure, just like this. And let the arms rest right next to you. And see how you feel right there in that position. So see if you need to raise the structure or if you need to lower a little bit, that's perfectly fine. But you really want to feel a nice stretch in the lower back. And perhaps even a nice stretch in the glutes area, in the outer glutes area. So see how that feels, and then just pause for a moment. Excuse me. Now take a deep breath into the nose. And exhale out through an open mouth. Really finding your body, really have the intention for your entire body to release. Have the intention for your forehead to relax, for your cheeks to relax. Have the intention for the back of the neck to really release and release any held tension in the back of the neck, in the shoulders. Have the intention for the entire back, all the way from your tailbone, all the way to the base of the skull to relax. And then have the intention for the hips to release, relax in their own ways. Allow the knees to release and relax, open to the side. And even the bottom of your feet, your toes, your ankles, the sides of the edges of your feet. Allow your entire foot, your left foot, your right foot, both feet simultaneously. Allow both feet to relax. Now begin to gently observe your own breath. Notice your natural rhythm of your own breath. Noticing your heartbeat. Then gently begin to bring your awareness to any other sensations in your body. Any other feelings, maybe even thoughts. Just begin to notice your thoughts. There's no judgment. You don't have to change anything. Just a simple act of awareness. Just simply noticing your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions at this time. And just know that it's all okay. You don't have to change it. And then begin to notice how the sensations begin to move in your body. Initially, as you got into this pose, maybe you felt a little stretch in your inner thighs. And then perhaps the sensation has moved from the inner thighs to the outer hips. Perhaps you feel it on the outside of your ankles. Wherever you feel it, just allow that sensation to move. So not holding on, not rejecting. Notice how your awareness brings more attention, and the attention creates more intensity in that body part. So can you, instead of focusing on that body part where you're feeling the most sensation, can you instead just observe it and allow it to move? Take a deep breath through the nose. And exhale out through an open mouth. Let it go. Now have the intention to begin to deepen your inhalations. And allow the exhales to be longer. And you really inhale through the nose and feel and sense your breath opening up your back body, feeling the back of the rib cage expand. And then as you exhale, can you feel and sense your rib cage shrinking in a sense, getting closer to each other, and then exhaling out through an open mouth. And can you begin to feel how that changes the feeling in your body? Inhaling, expanding the rib cage, and exhaling, allowing the rib cage come together. Feel the flexibility in your rib cage to be able to expand. And feel what happens once you go back to the normal. And a few more times, just like this, really becoming sensate in your own body. Feeling the breath expand the rib cage, the back of the body opening. And then feeling how the exhalation can release your sternum closer to your structure. And a few more times just like this, inhaling and exhaling. Now if you have your head turned to one direction, you can go ahead and turn it to the opposite direction very gently. Be very mindful that you're not turning your head too fast, but very gently just turn your head to the opposite direction. And then immediately go back to your own breath. Now notice if once you turn your head, if you're created unnecessary tension in the shoulders. If you did that, just gently remind your shoulders to relax. You really don't have to do anything. See how effortless you can be in this moment. This pose is extremely beneficial for your kidneys and gallbladder. So you may even want to take a deep breath in and really send a message of gratitude to your kidneys, to your gallbladder for working so hard to keeping you healthy and functioning throughout the day. Taking a few more deep breaths into the nose and exhaling out through an open mouth. You can stay here for as long as you like to. If you're ready to come out of the pose, do it very, very, very gently, placing your hands right next to your feet. Very slowly begin to press your torso away from your structure, and then gently walk your hands all the way in. And as you remain seated, just take a deep breath into the nose and exhale out through an open mouth. And do this 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhalation and long exhalation. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you next time. Namaste.